So let's jump right into this. I'm gonna be doing a soft glam makeup tutorial today. I used to do this all the time in high school, like my eyes, and then I would do foundation every now and then, but like the highlighting and contouring part, I didn't do that. So let's jump right into it. I did already go ahead and do my brows. I did use the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. It is in the color black brown. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil to use. And then just carve those out with my L'Oreal Infallible. This is the shade 405. So I'm going to go ahead and take this on the eyelids as well so that I can go ahead and prime them. This concealer is like really thick, like full coverage. So I freaking love this concealer. Then I'm just taking this Morphe M173. This is just a buffer brush. I'm going to just buff that concealer in. And then I'm going to set that with some powder. So for the eyes, I'm going to go into my Black Radiance. This is the medium to dark contour palette. I'm going to be taking this shade, the contour shade. I'm just using a blending brush. I'm just going to go ahead and just put that all over the eyelid. And you can, because I'm about to switch to it also, just use a flat eyeshadow brush. It is okay if you get it all over like I am, because we are going to blend out the edges. So I'm going to take a eyeshadow brush and just blend out the edges. And let me tell you, this look is like really easy. In school, I didn't even do like blend out the edges and everything. When I was in school, I would just take a dark eyeshadow color, like a dark brown, and then I would just put my highlight under my brow bone, and that'll basically just blend it out for me, because I did bring the brown all the way up to my eyebrows, so you couldn't even tell that it wasn't blended out. So if you want to do it like that, by all means, because ain't nobody gonna be able to tell that it's not blended out. So I'm just going between both colors, because whenever you are blending, sometimes the color does like go away. So I am going back in between, adding the dark brown, and then I am using the sculpt shade, which is like a skin tone brown, just to blend out those edges. So I kind of want my brown just a little bit darker. If you like it like this, keep it this way. But I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Rose in the Air. I'm gonna go ahead and take that brown and see if it'll kind of darken it up for me a little bit. Ooh. Okay, we are in business. So now I'm going to go in with my NYX Matte Liquid Eyeliner. I'm going to go ahead and align the eyes. I'm not going to do a wing at all. So now I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal. This is the Volumizing Fiber Lash Mascara. Oh, I can't talk while doing my lashes. But you are just going to go ahead and coat the lashes. Look at that eyelash, honey. This is like my favorite. My second favorite is the L'Oreal Telescopic. So if you don't like know what drugstore mascara to get, try out those two. The Telescopic is like a little bit more thinner. It's like better for the bottom lashes because it has like a really fine tip. And then this one, it just gives you lashes. Like, look at my eyelashes. Total difference. And it's also good if like you don't know how to put on lashes, because that's what we about to do. If you don't know how to put on lashes, just keep your mascara on. So I'm going to be putting on these lashes. These are my favorite lashes. These are the Ardell Wispies. My favorite is actually the Ardell Double Up, but I need a new pair, so we're going to do the regular Wispies today. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to face primer. I like to use the Maybelline Master Prime. This is their smoothing primer. I like it because it kind of hydrates the skin, and if you have dry skin, you need to use like a hydrating primer so that your skin does not look dry before applying foundation. And then I'm going to take the Baby Skin instant pore eraser. This just helps the foundation to glide on, and also it kind of fills in like pores. I do have pores right here around this area, so it kind of fills it in, so your foundation kind of glides over it rather than sink into your skin. And I'm not done with the eyes. I just like to do my foundation first, and then I come back to the eyes, because my favorite foundation is a Maybelline Super Coverage Full Stay foundation. This is in a warm coconut. Like when you take pictures, it's a flawless finish. It looks so freaking pretty. But I am out, so I'm gonna be using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation. This is in the color Tiny. I really like this foundation. The color is different from the Maybelline. Maybelline is more of a red warm. This one right here is more of like an olive yellow on me, but it looks really pretty after I get done with my whole face. So I've been really liking this foundation. Then I'm just gonna take my Morphe, this is the E6 foundation brush, and just go ahead and buff that in. All I'm gonna do is run it through and glide it over the top, like see where that concealer is at, and I'll go ahead and clean that up. And then like on the sides, if you do like this, just kind of slant your brush when you're doing it. That'll clean up the like extra eyeshadow that you have on the sides as well. So that's why I like to do my eyeshadow first, because you know you can kind of clean up better before getting into your foundation. So to get into concealer, I am using the Instant Age Rewind concealer. This is in the color Maybelline. This is the golden, and then I take the L'Oreal Infallible, which was the 40 shade that I used to conceal with. I put that on top, so I like to use two concealers. So to contour, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay Contour Shade in the color 370, which is Bronze Intense. And I only start contouring on the sides of my face now. I don't put that on my forehead because it kind of gets into the lace, like whenever you have a lace wig on. So I just stopped doing it altogether. So I just do like a little bitty line. If you kind of drag it down, whenever you are like blend it in, it's gonna go down. So just do like a little bit, and then I will put this on the nose. And like I say, I'll put like a little line on the nose because I like to drag it down. And let's take a Morphe M436 brush. This is like a contour brush. And you just take this in circular motions. And then for the sides of the nose, I just use a concealer brush. And I just bring this concealer like down. This kind of helps me like trace like how I want my nose to be. And then after I have it like where I want it to be, I'll just take my beauty blender and kind of blend it back out. Powder. So I am using the Maybelline Fit Me face powder. I usually use a 30 medium deep, but I have been wanting like a more highlighted face, so I do use the color 10 Fair Light. I just take my beauty sponge and just tap it in. And you just want to put this in all the places that you put your highlight. If you like really don't know how to highlight, I would say stick to the medium 30 until you are comfortable, then move up to the 10 Fair, because you will If you don't know what you're doing, you might mess up your face using like a lighter powder, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to dust that off just using a powder brush. Okay, so like I'm saying, if you do not know how to use a light powder, your face is going to look like this. If you don't know what you're doing to, you know, kind of get your powders to mesh together, it's going to look like this. So let me tell you, after this step, I am going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me. This color is 362 Truffle. I want to say it's a shade darker than what I really am. I think it is, or I think it might be actually my shade. No, it's my shade, I want to say. So I'm just going to take this e.l.f. angled blush. So I'm just going to take this angled e.l.f. blush brush, and you are going to, like the places that we contoured at, we're going to take this and we're going to take the edges. So you see how I'm doing the contour? See how this brush is angled? The tip part right here is going into the creases of where the highlight and the contour meet at. So that is going to help us blend everything back together. So I take this all around where I did not highlight. So all around the forehead and over here on the side. So where we put the highlight in the middle, I'm taking the brush sideways and I'm doing like this. So it's taking the edges and blending those out. And then I'm just doing it like this. And then actually on the face right here, I do apply it directly on there. And then I apply it on the chin. And I just lightly put that around those areas. And then right here on the face, that is where I make sure that I, you know, kind of put like a whole lot. So you see how my face is starting to kind of blend together. So that will help you if you, because I used to always have like a ghostly face whenever I never knew what it was. And then finally I just applied powder to kind of help me mesh the colors back together, and it helps me now. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I see what I was doing wrong. Usually I do use the medium, the first powder I showed you, I usually do use that on the bottom. That way I don't have to go in so much on this powder to kind of make sure it kind of meshes together. But if you can only get like a one powder at a time, then I would say go with the 30, the medium deep. If you want to highlight face like how I'm doing it, you can get 10. Just follow the steps that I'm doing, and then your face should be like flawless. So we're going to go to the Black Radiance medium to deep contour palette, and now I'm going to actually take this Sculpt shade. So the powder helps my face come back to life, kind of helps me blend in the powders just to go ahead and mesh together. Now I want to actually contour the face. So I'm going to take the Sculpt shade because it's like a warm orange tone. And you see how my face just kind of warms up with that. Now I'm going to go directly over what I just contoured with. Now this is going to help bring warmth into the skin. And you don't, with this powder, you don't have to go all on the outside. I kind of just stay towards the insides where I put that powder at. So now I'm gonna take this Morphe. This is like a contour brush. This like gets right in like the cheekbones. I'm gonna take the contour shade out of the Black Radiance palette, and I'm going to just put that right here. And then after that, I am going to go into blush. I'm going to be taking my favorite, which is going to be the e.l.f. blush. I do always like to go in with this shade right here. And I'm just going to use a brush. You just want to smile and apply it directly on the cheeks, and then I take it into that contour. So starting out, I'm gonna go ahead and take this Maybelline Stay Put eyeliner. It is their color, which is After Dark. This is like their black eyeliner, and I'm just going to go ahead and line that waterline. And so now I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. smudger brush. It looks like this. I'm gonna go back in with that dark brown that was in the Wet n Wild palette, which was this shade right here. I'm going to first just tap that on top of that black eyeliner. Now after you tap it, you just go left and right, left and right. So now that I have that down, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Color Con. This is the shade Reserve Your Cabana, and it's supposed to be like a bronzer. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply that in the corners of the eyes. And then I'm going to take this on a powder brush and kind of just bring that down a little bit, because this is just going to help highlight the face a little bit more. Make sure you are tapping it off and you're not getting that everywhere. So now that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and put my mascara on the bottom. Okay, so after that is done, I'm going to go ahead and spray my face. I'm using the Maybelline Master Fix. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to highlight. I'm going to keep the highlight in subtle, but this one blends into the skin. It looks so freaking pretty. It looks very flawless. So if you don't like too much highlight, but you want a lot of highlight, then this one will be for you. I'm using a Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter, and this is in Awesome Blossom. So I'm going to really just make sure I focus this on the center of the face. And then I'm going to put this under the eyebrow. So for lips, I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with the NYX liquid liner. This is in the color Espresso. And then I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild shade. This is in Sand Nudes. And then the second one I use is the Caught You Bare Naked. I like to use these. I've used the first one on the entire lips. Then the second one I'm just going to take in the center. Then on top of that, I do take the NYX Filler Instinct. This is the shade Sparkle Please. I just put that on top. And then this isn't Drugstore, but this is my favorite and I have to use this. So I'm going to be using a Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Just go ahead and mesh all these powders together.